If we're going to get this music momentum going, we're going to have to think about ways to make it survive. And one of the ways to make it survive is you need to make it self-sustaining. The way to do that is to have some type of value capture reward system going on. So the music industry is, of course, it's full of reward, but in small pockets, in large quantities. So how do we redistribute the large quantities more evenly? And this is what I want to achieve here. So first we have to understand value and its properties in relation to music. So there's different perspectives. There's the creator, the consumer, and the middleman. So if we start from the creator, the idea is that the creator creates music for the love of it, and that is their reward. Their reward is purely the fact that they are creating good music, people are enjoying it, but more importantly, they enjoy it. They're hearing the music in their heads, and that's what they're reproducing. And there's something very, very satisfactory about that. So that one is fairly easy to do. Where it gets a little bit complicated for the creator is allowing them to have time to create. So you don't want a society that is swamping them with other stuff. You want to open them up to at least some capacity to create. The universal basic income comes into my mind here, but I'm not saying that that's what we do. But we create an alleviation point, something just to make it a little bit easier. So this is where the financial aspect comes in. So you need a bit of financial reward to create music. Now, should anyone actually make a full-time job off music and be able to survive like that? Well, to be honest, this world has allowed such industries to exist. Back in the day, you would have to farm, you'd have to create your own food. So creating music wouldn't allow you to create a life with that. You would use that, you would create music in your recreational spare time, but you would never be able to support a family with just music because you had so many other things to do. But today's day and world, yeah, you can get away with it. So I'm a little bit torn between whether you should be able to make a full-time job, let alone a $1 million income. So, we'll come back to that on a separate video. So the other areas that we have to focus on in terms of reward value capturing system is the consumer. So the consumer, what do they get out of music? Pure enjoyment. They want to listen to relax, they want to enjoy, they find music humbling, they want to listen to it in a group. And so the mission of the system is to get music to them in the most efficient, streamlined manner, hence the word streaming perhaps, which is where we're going. And I'm all for streaming. That's definitely the way forward. There's just a few things that we have to fix along the way. So we've got streaming towards a streamlined, better experience for the consumer. And I don't mean consumer in the commercial sense. I actually mean in terms of how they consume music. So it is commercial, but it's how they enjoy it. So we have to create a system that enables the consumer to get the best experience. The third area of focus in terms of value is the orchestrator, the middleman. So before it was the music industry, which still exists, but now it's more like a platform. It's an intangible element. It's code, and it's all about connecting the dots between the creators and the consumers. So, but in order for them to exist, to run their servers and improve their algorithms and improve the consuming experience and the creating experience, they need to be rewarded as well. So we understand, after discussing these three items, that a reward system is definitely needed. So we agree that the current reward system is a bit skewed. So we need to think about ways to fix that. So previously, in the past, you would physically buy the content. A creator would create, it would go on a CD, tape recorder, whatever other mechanism it was back then, and you would purchase that, the album or the single, and it was a single transaction, one-off. These days it's streaming, so I definitely think that that's a step forward in the right direction. But is it perfect? Absolutely not. So this is what we're going to work on. So let's think about it. So we've got streaming, which is fantastic, but we have to think about how that ties in with reward. So reward for the consumer, that makes sense. They can have music at their fingertips, but you want to create an environment where it's smooth for them. Pre-set up playlists. You've got recommendations, but at the same time, you want to have an algorithm that streamlines exactly what they like. So you want to be able to figure it out. To be honest, that's a really complicated one, and I think that they are working towards that. So eventually, you'll pick up your phone, and depending on how you picked it up, it'll pick up what mood you're in. It'll know what your culture is, what genre of music your genetic code tells you that you're going to like, and it will play music accordingly. That would be fantastic. So that's what the orchestrator is going to work towards, and that's the consumer's end goal, to have fantastic music played at their fingertips. And we're so close. We are really close. So well done, everyone. The creator needs to have an environment where they are, where it's easy for them to create, where their limitations are limited. So, for example, if they're only a guitar player, that they have access to drummers or drum beats or a MIDI file that helps them lay down drum tracks. And if they want to add on a violin to give some background ambiance, then they can do that. So you want to create an environment for the creators to be able to create good content for the consumers, and then you want the middleman to connect all the dots in the smoothest way possible. So the reward system involved in this, we figured out the consumer. Let's talk about the creator. So they have got a few options. They either sell, which I think is a dead and done process. So they're going to stream now. So from streaming, you can either have the consumer pay for it by means of direct purchase of a streaming service, or that they just watch an advert, such as on YouTube. That's if you don't have a paid for subscription on YouTube, you just watch the advert at the beginning, between, and after, if there are any, and then you carry on consuming your content. So that's one way. The other way is royalties. So you created a song, and there's an advertiser that thinks that this will be a good fit for whatever they're advertising. So they pay you a royalty fee for whenever they play that advert, and your song is in it, they'll pay you. So we have all these things already. So nothing is changing there. It's mainly the algorithm in the orchestrator's plate, on the orchestrator's plate, that has to think about the revenue system, revenue reward system. They have to think about how to reward the creator enough to generate good content, to continue generating good content, and reward the consumer to come back to that platform so that they can consume more good content in a good, streamlined fashion. So what are the other things? So the algorithm, this is where we are. We have to think about the algorithm now.